Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and it's something that I'm going to be starting to get into a little bit more, kind of top 5 videos, tips for certain things, and such. But as you can tell by the title, I wanted to do my top 5 Genji tips, and these are going to just be my base across the board top 5. They're coming from my perspective. I've got 43, 44 hours maining him on Season 4, and I do play a lot of Genji, and I'm sitting at 3,700 right now, so I'm not the best player in the world, but again, just wanted to share my top 5 tips. So, first off, I don't have them in any particular order. I think they're all evenly as important, and they're pretty... I don't necessarily say they're advanced tips, but they are what I feel to be the top 5 most important things you just absolutely have to know how to do. So with that said, they are, I guess, in a way advanced, or at least the most important. So number 1 I have on the list is going to be proper wall evading and smooth movement. Now, the reason I put this one on here, because it seems so obvious, is that when I watch a lot of footage or I watch streams of people that aren't at very high rank, or I see someone playing Genji, they more often than not don't really utilize his movement very well. Now, what I mean when I say proper wall evading is when you have no cooldowns, you have, nothing available to you. You don't just want to double jump. Double jumping is probably just going to be about the quickest way to get yourself killed. You want to look at a wall, half climb up it, and then hop off. You want to, you kind of wiggle around and strafe, and then add a double jump in. And ultimately, the whole point of the first tip for Genji is you want to have smooth movement. Everything you want to do needs to be quick. Like whenever I'm dashing at a corner, or if I double jump up and I don't think I'm going to quite make it, you want to flick your mouse and hop over the corner. So you just want to really go into a custom game and practice Genji movement. You want to know what walls you can double jump on. You want to know just exactly where you need to be evasive and to have a good flow in the game. That's really what he's about, is having a good flow, understanding where to be, and understanding how to position properly with his movement. So that's tip number 1. Number 2 is going to be point blank deflects, and only using deflect at long range to counter, say, a Widowmaker or to escape a fight. So the reason I added this one in, and it really does kind of cover it in multiple ways, is because I just see so many people use Deflect wrong. And Deflect is often a massive utility for Genji. It's usually a kill. It can also be a way to save his life. It's just additional damage. Sometimes it blows a lot of damage depending on your situation. So you have to use it in the right way. So I'd say the most common usage of Deflect is to dash in at a target, get right in their face, and pop deflect. You know they're going to shoot you. You're right in front of them. You know you can't miss the deflect because you're right in front of them, and it will most likely land you a kill if done properly, with a dash in there for damage or some kind of a right-click melee. So you definitely want to try that. Now, the second part of this tip I added was long range for Widow and escapes only. So if you're sitting at a long-range choke point and you're just poking and you think they're going to shoot back at you, you never just want to pop up deflect and do 0 damage with it. You only want to deflect if you see a Widow, you think she's about to shoot, so you can get the headshot on someone, or if you're absolutely disengaging, you're hopping backwards, you have no cooldowns but your deflect, and you're walking backwards and you pop the deflect just to keep yourself alive. That's pretty much the only time you ever want to deflect at a long distance. Tip number 3 is going to be resetting Swift Strike with the ultimate. So this is something I see a lot as well. I'll see someone pop ultimate and dash in with Swift Strike. What you have to know, and this is super important because it's how you set up a lot of your kills with the ultimate, is that you want to use the Swift Strike first, because when you pop the Dragon Blade, it's going to actually reset the Swift Strike and you'll get another Swift Strike. And this all comes down to, understanding the character, having that smooth movement and the ability to execute. So you want to dive in the air or Swift Strike in the air and pop ultimate and fall down and find your target. Or you want to Swift Strike through the enemy team, pop ultimate, get a swing off, and then Swift Strike back, toward whoever your target is. This is particularly important with Genji because Genji is the prime target to find the Mercy a lot of the time. And if you're behind, if you don't have a jump or a mobility cooldown and she's able to shift away from you and you have Dragon Blade, that's pretty much a useless Dragon Blade because she'll most likely live and then she's most likely going to get the res off. So what I usually like to do is I usually like to dash at the Mercy, pop ult, take one swing. When she flies away, I'll spin, find her, strike after her again, and then, or swift strike after her again, and then I'll finish her off with a second swing. So it's really important that you're making sure that you reset the cooldown of swift strike by popping the Dragon Blade. So make sure you use that swift strike first. Number 4 is actually kind of similar to number 1, but I think it's important to utilize proper double jumping. And when I say proper double jumping, there's 2 specific things I can think of. One, because Genji is so important, and to play properly and to find your target priority and to make sure you're executing kills on, because you're not Soldier, you can't just sit back and spam damage. Fighting versus McCrees, who are often picked as anti-flankers, even though it's an even fight more or less, it's important to know that when you dive into a McCree, you want to double jump because he's most likely going to throw a flashbang at you, and you want to be able to take that flashbang stun in the air and make him miss his headshot. This is a common tactic that I use, and it works really well. I fight a lot of McCrees that think they can change to McCree because of the stun and that because they're going to be able to kill me, and a lot of the time it is a 50-50 fight. But if I time it right, if I think I can anticipate his flashbang, then I can actually double jump into the flashbang and he usually will miss the headshot, and I'll get at least a little bit more time to fight him. He still might kill me sometimes, but it'll give me a little bit more time. Now, the second example of proper double jumping that I want to bring up is jumping during ult swings. And the reason this is important is because if you pop the ultimate, you dash in, you pop the ultimate, you start swinging, you're still just a person on the ground. Take advantage of that movement. Take advantage of the fact that you can double jump and swing downward. Make it hard for them to hit you. And in the future patch, if what's in the PTR goes through, make sure you animation cancel by wall climbing as well, hopping off the wall and taking a swift strike swing. Tip number 5, know your matchups. Know when you go in a game and you can see the enemy team comp and you press tab, you see who's in front of you, know who your target priority is. Say, okay, they have a Zen and a Lucio. Well, guess what? I don't like killing Lucio, so I'm going to go after the Zen. So know that you want to dash in, find the Zen. Know that, Soldier's kind of a frustrating kill sometimes, but if they have a Pharah, well, guess what? You're probably going to be going for the Soldier. They have Pharah Mercy, you're going to be looking for Lucio Soldier. You're going to be looking to spam damage into Roadhog and get ult. Know who is the most important person to go after in your game specifically. Know what kind of comp you have that might change that. If you have a Winston on your team, go in with the Winston. Sometimes just following up on his damage, even if it's not proper priority, is still going to net you more kills, more resets, and enable you to do what you do best as Genji. So those are my top 5 tips for playing Genji. I think I could come up with more, and I might do another top 5 tips or another tip video for Genji. And again, this isn't going to be the only hero I do it for, but he is my main right now, and I've been really enjoying playing him this season and the last season. So let me know what you guys think about the tips. Please do not leave without leaving a like. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys for the next video.